I know you know someone that has a negative vibe. And if you're trying to make it, they only push you aside. They really don't have nowhere to go. Ask them where they're going, they don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're gonna put our show together, gonna polish up our act well. And if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Well, don't you let nothing stand in your way. I want y'all to listen to every word I say, every word I say. No. We're moving, we're grooving. We're moving, yeah. We're grooving. Moving, go. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. I know we got the groove. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. We got the groove. Ain't no stopping us now. Oh no, I'm on the move. I really got that groove. And I know, we've got the groove. Let you on the real move. No need in trying, no, 'cause I ain't buying. No. Don't try to stop us, no.
Harlem has its own radio station, WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem.
This is Morning Praise, the best in gospel music. I'm your host, Dalton Anderson. Good morning to Harlem, Tri-State, and our web family on WHCR.org. It's time to go to church.
Y'all ready? Y'all ain't ready for this? Y'all ain't ready for this? It's time to praise the Lord. It's time. It is time to praise the Lord. Looking at my clock, it's time to praise the Lord. It is. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make a boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. Come on, church, put your hands together. It's time to praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Come on, we gonna cry out for it all. Hallelujah. Come on, put your hands together like this. Come on, he's so worthy to be praised. Father, we worship you. We give you glory, God. God, we ask for more of you. Fill our hearts, Lord God, with a hunger and a thirst for you tonight. Yeah. Hallelujah. Holy fire, God our Father, open the heavens for us today. Hallelujah. Fulfill our session with more of your presence. God, we want everything, so on one accord we sing. Say, we want it all. We want it all. We want it all. We want it all. All you have. Come on, say it. We want it all. 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 All you have. Awesome King, oh, to majesty. Don't hold back, release it now. Oh, 'cause we have a passion, a lift your hands to the Lord. Come on, just begin to worship him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, lift your hands all over this place. Come on, begin to worship him. Father, we worship you. Father, we worship you, yeah. We want it all. Cry out, we want it all. All you have to offer. We want it all.
This is WHCR 90.3 FM in New York. Morning praise with Dalton Anderson, the man who still knows how to wake and bake and shake you right out of your gospel beds on a Sunday morning. God wants it all. You know, I definitely want it all. The number here is 212-650-6903. That's the number to give me a call and make your request. 212-650-6903. We're streaming live at the web at WB. Oh, no, you didn't say it. Yes, you did. WHCR.org. That's WHCR.org. Nothing but great gospel music. Call up everybody right now and say, that crazy man is on the radio. They gave him a license to be crazy, but I'm crazy for God. It's Lisa Knowles and the Brown Singers. It's time to have a praise party on WHCR 90.3 FM in New York.
Jesus picked me up.
tried by the Spirit. Yes. Tried by the Spirit. Yes, my Lord. Tried by the Spirit. Yes. Said I've been tried in my heart. Then I've been tried in my soul. Thank God. Yeah. Holy Ghost. Feel all right. I feel all right. Let me ask you one more time. Have you been tried by the Spirit? Have you been tried by the Spirit? Yes, my Lord. Anybody here been tried by the Spirit? You know I've been tried in my heart. Then I've been tried in my soul. Thank God. I don't know about you, but I feel all right. I remember that day when the Holy Ghost fell on me. I began to tell everybody, I've been tried by the Lord. Is anybody here? I've been tried by the Lord. No, you've been tried. I've been tried by the Lord. Do you remember your day? I've been tried by the Lord. The day the Lord touched your soul. I've been tried by the Lord. The day the Lord made you whole. I've been tried by. Let me ask you one question here. Anybody here tonight? I've been tried by the Lord. Know you've been born again. I've been tried by the Lord. Let me ask you. I wonder, have you got it? I've got it. Anybody here got it? I've got it. If you know you got it, I've got it. Say yeah. 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 Good. God Almighty. Holy Ghost. If anybody here got it, sanctification all in your soul. Let me tell you the reason why. I know I got it. I've been born again. I've been born again. That ain't all. But in the book of Acts, Peter and John came by the gate. Good God Almighty, by the temple, and they looked upon them, said, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have, I'll give it to you. What was they talking about? Talking about the Holy Ghost. They were talking about the Holy Ghost. And that ain't all. That ain't all. But in the book of John, I heard John the Baptist say, there's coming another one that I'm not worthy to latch his shoes. But I heard John say that I'm a baptize Jesus down in the water. But when Jesus comes, he's gonna baptize you with the Holy Ghost. And that's making me extra right now. Is anybody here got it? Is anybody here got it? If you're sure you got it, why don't you wave your hand? Let somebody know that you got the Holy Ghost. I'm talking about speaking in tongues. I'm talking about speaking in tongues.
WHCR 90.3 FM.
Telling everybody you see that I know the Lord because he's been so good to me.
Morning Praise with Dalton Anderson.
Question, do you know he's been good? If you
Bishop Joe Clark in Air of Faith.
while you're listening here,
Have you been tried by the Spirit?
you ought to give the Lord some praise. Get up the
The phone lines are live right now at 212-650-6903.
you got climbing on.
Gotta send a big praise out to my folks out there on the West Coast. The West Coast is listening. That's San Diego. I have Los Angeles, San Francisco,
Like you love your friends.
and some friends in Arizona. They're listening this morning.
All right, I
As we stream live at whcr.org. That's whcr.org. It's Dalton Anderson, the man is on the radio. The #1 gospel show on a Sunday morning. Evelyn turned teenager.
We just decided we just gonna praise God tonight.
That's right.
In spite of things.
WHCR.
Everything that happened to me that was good, God did. Yes, He did. Oh, everything that happened to me that was good, God did. Yes, He did. You know what He did? Pick me up, turn me around, place my feet on solid ground. Everything that happened to me that was good, God did. Yes, He did. I said everything that happened to me that was good, the Master did it, and I praise Him. Ooh, everything that happened to me that was good, God did it. Yes, He did. You see, once I was lost in a world of sin, Jesus came and He rocked His shine on me. Everything that happened to me that was good, God did it. Yes, He did. I said everything that happened to me that was good, my God did it. Yeah. Ooh, everything that happened to me that was good, God did it. Yes, He did. I've been sick. Thought I couldn't get well. Y'all take a look at me. I got to tell everything that happened to me that was good, God did it. Yes, He did. God did it. And I know He did. It was God that did it. And I tell the world, He picked me up, turned me around, placed my feet on solid ground. When I was lost in a world of sin, I felt Him when He grabbed me, took me on in. When I was sick and thought I couldn't get well, God healed me. God healed me. God healed me. Now I can tell. So say yes. Yeah. Who did it? Who did it? Somebody witness. I know somebody else know. Who woke you up early this morning? Found yourself clothed in your right mind. Look, He didn't let you sleep too late. He woke you up on time. Who made a mountain? Who made a tree? Who made a tree? Who made a river? Who made a river? Flow out to the sea. Flow out to the sea. Who hung the moon? Who hung the moon? In the starry sky. Starry sky. Who made a flower? Bloom in spring. Who wrote a song? Who wrote a song? For the robin to sing. Who sent the rain? When the earth is dry. Who gave the fire?
said, please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. Please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. When God gets through with me, when God gets through with me, I shall come forth, I shall come forth as pure gold. If you should see me, I'm not walking right. If you should hear me, I'm not talking right. Just remember, God is not through with me yet. When God gets through with me, I'll be what He wants me to be. So I said, please be patient with me, 'cause God is not through with me yet. No, no, no. Please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. When God gets through with me, when God gets through with me, I shall come forth. I shall to be. So I said, please be patient with me, 'cause God is not through with me yet. No, no, no. Please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. When God gets through with me, when God gets through with me, I shall come forth, I shall come forth, pure gold. I don't feel no waste time. I've come too far from where I started from. But did nobody tell me that the road was gonna be easy? You see, I don't believe God brought me this far. I don't believe that He brought me this far. He's been holding my hand each and every day. My God's been leading me all the way. I don't believe it. I said I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe He brought me this far. I don't believe, I don't believe, I don't believe God brought me this far to leave.
WHCR 90.3 FM.
I don't believe it.
Morning praise for Dalton Anderson. Lou Rawls
Be by my side, yes.
with the Georgia Mass Choir.
Said He'd bring everything on.
Evelyn Turnteen-Agee
And I don't believe He
brought me this far.
leave me.
Yeah. Edwin Hawkins Singers. Ooh, child.
Child, things are going to get easier. Ooh, child, things are getting brighter. Ooh, child, things are going to get easier. Ooh, child, things are getting brighter. Someday, put it together and we'll get it undone.
Harlem has its own radio station.
For you and yours, WHCR
90.3 FM.
The livest party in the whole universe.
The voice of Harlem.
Backed by popular demand, after sold-out performances last season, the world-famous Apollo Theater presents an all-new staging of Ellington at Christmas Nutcracker Suite, featuring Broadway stars Norm Lewis and Priscilla Baskerville, with performances by Liz Wright, Jason Samuel Smith, students from the Dance Theater of Harlem, and more. Musical direction by David Berger. Performances are December 13th and December 14th for 3 performances only. You heard me, 3 performances only. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com or visit www.apollotheater.org for more information.
This is the sound of someone correctly installing a car seat. And this is the sound of someone incorrectly installing a car seat. Correctly, incorrectly. Hear the difference? No? That's because installing a car seat incorrectly is terribly easy. So much so, 75% of adults install them wrong. For simple instructions on how to get it right, visit buckleupforlife.org. Perfectly executed. Brought to you by Cohen Children's Medical Center.
The Harlem Hospital Center Department of Food and Nutrition Services hosts its annual food drive on Monday, November the 10th through December the 24th. You can donate unexpired, non-perishable food products to any food bank receptacle located throughout Harlem Hospital. All food collected will be donated to Harlem Mothers Save. This is your opportunity to help provide food for families in need during the holiday season. Harlem Hospital is located at 506 Lenox Avenue at 135th Street. For more information, call Sean Shivers at 212-939-1936.
Harlem has its own radio station.
For you and yours, WHCR
90.3 FM.
The livest party in the whole universe.
The voice of Harlem.
Up in the morning, poured myself some coffee, cooked the kids some breakfast. Man, my life is hectic, but the only thing that I can seem to think about is you. People always asking, what would Jesus do? I guess that everybody else is thinking about you too. All around the world, what they talk about is you. Would probably drive me crazy if I didn't hold your hand. Cause no matter where I go, I never, ever, ever go without you. Woo. I just couldn't do it, no, I wouldn't get through it. Trying to rock without you's like an engine with no fluid. I crash and I burn and I die without you. Can you hear me sing? I think y'all ready to go now.
SOS, I need you daily. Can't lie, say the pain don't faze me. My God, who gon' help these babies? My.
I've been in the fire so long, I can't get burned no more. I thought you was putting out the flame, but it was rain from the storm. That's over my head, making me stressed all day long. They won't let me rest, that's on my chest. I ain't that strong. I need a lifeline right now. 911 won't do. My back's against the wall now. Done all that I could do. I prayed every prayer, went to every service like I know how. Just a ship without a sail. I'm lost without your help. I need help. Oh Lord, I need your help. But to tell the truth, sometimes I don't. But it ain't about my will, it's all about what you want. Family used to be first, things getting worse in my home. My brother is hurt, we need a word, it's too far gone. I need a lifeline right now. 911 won't do, my back's against the wall now. Done all that I could do. I prayed every prayer, went to every service like I know how. Just a ship without a sail, I'm lost without your help. Lord, it's me this time. Said I'm crying, Lord, yeah. I just can't make it if I don't have you. Said I really need.
Dear Lord, I need a little help now, see? I feel left out, I can't tell my right from my left now. When my mama's crying cause my daddy's dying, he got pains all in his chest now. My daughter's having these nightmares. I might be wrong, but I'm right here, yeah. I'm trying to hold on when my hands hurt or the ropes out. Cause when life fights, it don't fight fair. So I'm leaning all on these ropes now. And I got hope, but it's low now. So I'm leaning all on these quotes now. Like never leave me, won't forsake me. If you don't help me, I don't make it.
Said you never leave me. So come on, Jesus. Lord, yeah. Lord, yeah. Does anybody need the Lord? Yeah. I can't make it without you, Lord.
Thinking about the world, looking at the nation. Suicide, genocide, homicide. 3 words come to mind. Times are changing, yeah. No more rumors, there are wars going on. Twisted doctors, scientists making clones. Economy got some backs against the wall. People dying for no reason at all. People of God don't even read their Bibles. There's no faith, no trust in the word. But everybody seems to be quoting scripture. It's just another word they heard. Pastors leaving pulpits cause they're tired. It's all based on how we feel. Overheard 2 people speaking the other day. One said that God's not real, but I'm just one of them more people who's got a hold on. Sometimes I can't see, but I still believe He's taking care of me. Oh, I'm just one of them old people God's got a hold on. And I believe, yeah. I believe, yeah. So I'll choose to look on the brighter side, in spite of all the negativity I'm surrounded by. No, it ain't perfect, but that's alright. Cause His hand is on me and He's keeping me alive. So many disappointments, so much I don't understand, so much I don't have answers for. That's what makes me trust You more. In a world that's always changing, everything's rearranging. But no matter what's going on, I'ma be standing, I'ma be holding on. Your truth, their truth, my truth. Your God, my God, our view. All I know is one thing nowadays, is we all need hope, we all need faith. And I'm just one of them old people who's got a hold on. Sometimes I can't see, but I still believe He's taking care of me. Yes, He is. Oh, I'm just one of them old people God's got a hold on. Don't you let go of me, Lord, please. I believe, yeah. Oh, I'm just one of them old people who's got a hold on. Sometimes I can't see, but I still believe He's taking care of me. Yes, He is. Oh, I'm just one of them old people God's got a hold on. I believe.
I wonder how I got here. What did I do to get here? Somehow I made the wrong turn. Now I'm lost and burned. In my mess I fell deep, 'cause my flesh was weak. But now I hear Your voice, and I'm making the choice. I'm turning away from the things that I do that I know aren't pleasing in Your sight. I'm turning away from the messed up mindset and the things that I know aren't right. I'm turning away from the past, the hurt and shame, all the things that had me bound. I'm turning away, turning away. When temptation tries to lure me off my course, I will choose You. I'll choose a new start. I'm giving you my heart. From your love I never wanna depart. I'm turning away from the things that I do that I know aren't pleasing in your sight. I'm turning away from the messed up mindset and the things that I know aren't right. I'm turning away from the past, from the hurt, from the shame, and the things that had me bound. I'm turning away, turning away. Hey, I'm turning away from the way of my past. I'm turning away. I've changed my mind, changed my heart. I'm turning away. 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 I'm turning away from the things that I do that I know aren't pleasing in your sight. I'm turning away from the messed up mindset and the things that I know aren't right. Away from the past, from the hurt, from the shame, from the things that have me bound. I'm turning away. Turning away. I'm turning away, yeah. I'm turning away. Oh, turning away. Oh, turning away.
Wow. WHCR 90.3 FM.
Turning away, yeah.
It's Brian Wilson and Turning Away. Oh.
Away.
And before that, I Believe, Mali Music.
Said I'm turning away.
Turning away. It's Morning Praise with Dalton Anderson, a man that still knows how to wake and bake and shake you right out of your gospel beds on a Sunday morning. Ricky Dillon G, so amazing on WHCR.
You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. So amazing. So amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. So amazing. You cause the sun and moon to shine. I'm so glad you're mine. Oh, I'm glad to say you're mine. Tip Joy, stand in all of you. Sing praise and the things you do. Somebody say you're holy, worthy is the Lamb who was slain for me.
WHCR 90.3 FM. Hey, WHCR family. This song has been nominated in so many different categories. Best choir song, best traditional song, best original arrangement, song of the year. All this will be happening, and you'll find it out in March of 2015 when they televise the Stellar Awards. You are amazing. Oh my gosh. That is Ricky Dillard.
He's been good.
This is Phil and Brenda Nichols. He's been good. It's Morning Praise with Dalton Anderson on WHCR 90.3 FM.
When I look around and see all of the things that he's done for me, could have been dead sleeping in my grave, but he told death to get back and behave. Yeah. He's been good to me, more than this world could ever be. 24 hours, praise. If I could, he's been good.
Verse 2.
Every morning,
When I get out of bed,
it's the grace and mercy that I know he shed. So I gotta praise him the way he should, 'cause there's too much evidence that he's been good.
he's been good to me. More than this world
Could ever be
24 hours. If I could, sing it again. He's been good to me. More than this world could ever be. 24 hours of praise. If I could, come on. He's been good. Oh yeah, you see.
No matter what a face with,
Lord, I know you care for me. Yes, you do.
I'll never forget how he's blessed me. Even though I don't deserve his grace and mercy.
God is good.
You gotta praise him.
God is good.
All the time, all the time. God is good. He is good. All the time, all the time. I'm thanking for his mercy, and I'm thanking for his grace. Yes, I do. God been good. He's been good. All the time, all the time.
God is good. Yeah.
He's good.
Hallelujah.
All the time.
If I could,
He's been good. Every time. And it's not just when I'm doing fine. He's good. All the time. Even in the sun. He's still good. All the time.
bless me beyond compare. So I'll praise Him anywhere.
And when I'm healthy or I'm feeling some pain, God is still good. Just the same.
He's been good. He's been good to me. More than this world will be. 24 hours of praise. If I could,
Phil. Brenda.
And it's not just when I'm doing fine. He's good all the time. Even in the sun, he's still good all the time.
bless me beyond compare. So I'll praise Him anywhere.
WACR 90.3 FM. This song is gonna really take off. It's Phil and Brenda Nichols. He's been so good. Don't forget, we're coming up in a few moments, WHCR family. It's a Koji Praise Break. Get your shouting shoes on. Say it again, Dalton. Get your shouting shoes on. Right now, just move that coffee table out the way and get your children into the living room. And tell Daddy to take his feet down from off the chairs and say, baby, we're going to dance because Dalton Allen is going to bring on the Koji Praise Break in a few minutes. Oh.
I was born.
Oh, no, you didn't, Dalton.
By the river.
Aretha Franklin.
In a little tent.
A change is going to come.
And just like the river, I've been running ever since. He said it's been a long time coming, but I know my change is gonna come. Oh yeah. He said it's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I might not be if I knew what was up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know my change has got to come. Oh yeah. I went to my brother and I asked him, brother, could you help me please? He said, good sister, I liked her, but I'm not
CR 90.3 FM, New York.
somehow, right now, I believe that I'm able to carry on. I tell you that it's been a long, it's been an uphill journey all the way. But I know a change is gonna come. Sometimes I have to cry all night long. Yes, I did. Sometimes I had to give up right for what I knew was wrong. Yeah, it's been an uphill journey. It's sure been a long way coming. Yes, it has. It's been real hard every step of the way. But I believe this evening a change has come. Yeah, I'm saying that my change has come.
I am you know what, WHR family, I'm just kind of getting overwhelmed here on Facebook. It seems like everybody's found me because of my concert last night, and now they're realizing that I also have another show on WHR. I don't mix both of them together. You know, this whatever I do at one station, that's at one station. But somehow word has got out, and now they hit me up on my Facebook saying, "How come I don't talk more about it?" And it's kind of a conflict of interest at the moment. You know, it's two different stations, two different programs, and I was trying to explain to them it's two different shows. And, you know, so I told them, you tell somebody about me being on a second station. You tell them. And they want to know why. One lady wanted to know, well, just don't do the same thing you're doing on this station and do it on the other station. Not yet. Not yet. I think I'm doing fine over there. It's different programming. People don't understand about programming and about audience and presentation. Yes, I could just go over there and just do anything I want. That's not what we've done so much of that already. I think we've hurt our industry because a lot of the gospel announcers have not really taken time out to understand their audience. And when I say understand their audience, know what type of audience that you have and the age of your audience, and then to be involved in your community, to know what's really being sung out there, what people really want to hear. I mean, charts can tell you what is being played out there, but is that necessarily what people want to hear? I mean, we have some of the top artists. I mean, I'm playing Ricky Dillard, amazing. Just to give an example, I love the song. I think it's just wonderful. It's a simple song, and you could sing that. You know, any church choir can sing that. But some people say, well, you know, Dalton, that's contemporary music. I'm not a lover of contemporary gospel music. I like traditional, because that is fine for you to like that. But we can't. You know, we cannot continue to play just one thing all the time, because then we'll kill another part of this industry. So, but what we are trying to do, let's put it this way, what Dalton tries to do is in trying to encompass all forms of gospel music. And when I bring that together, and not to try to alienate the core audience that is listening, but understand there are other elements that make up this great diaspora we call gospel music. And that takes work. And, you know, some people just get behind the mic and play anything. And I think those who do that hurt this industry, because they really have not researched what they're doing. They're not, and they're taking us back and not growing the industry. And that's why we have certain art forms of music like traditional gospel. You know, I go to the churches, choirs are still singing choir songs. Hello, somebody. Choirs are still singing choir songs. We don't play enough of that. But then someone said, well, Dalton, there's not enough out there. There is. If you do the research and put that music together, it is enough out there. You know, I went to, last Sunday, I stopped by Shiloh Baptist Church. They were singing choir songs. That choir was singing over there. I think it's Pastor Sampson, I believe, or Simpson, forgive me. Man brought a word. Man can preach over there at Shiloh Baptist Church. Man can preach. Choir can sing. It just kind of reminded me. Sometimes that's why I go to these churches unannounced, just to hear what the choirs are singing. And that kind of gives me an idea, even what the deacons are singing, or what they're doing in midst of devotion, or in an offering, what songs are they singing, because it gives you an idea of what is still happening out there. And as radio announcers, we got to encourage that. We got to keep that part of the industry. It's very important for us to keep that growing. Like some announcers say, I'm only going to play quartet music. That's what I love. And that is fine. But a lot of people say, I don't like quartet music. You know, I wish they would play maybe a worship song, because a lot of churches open up their service with a worship song to usher in the Spirit of God. So we have to do work. And a lot of our announcers, you know, they will not do work. I'm going to say they're not going to do the kind of work. And I know about doing the work. And, you know, I'm just going to talk about it. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I know about doing the work, because I've been there and really have done that. And I've sacrificed a lot just to do the work. And I pray with all the years that I'm here that you, Harlem, are getting really the best of what I have while I can still do it. And now another station is starting to appreciate that in a very big way, in a very, very big way. They're starting to appreciate it. And a lot of them call me up and actually break down what I'm doing. Actually break it down. Call me up. I've gotten emails from people actually break down my show and tell me what I'm doing and want to know why other stations are not doing it. And I tell them, listen, I got my training on WHCR. That's where I got my training. You, the family of WHCR, has helped me to be where I am today. That I will never forget. And now then I just got to, I have to let you know how much I appreciate that. Because what we do is, I'm thinking it's an art form that is not being used a lot anymore. Because why? The contemporary music has really dominated the industry. At least I would say maybe 80% of this industry that I'm part of now is either contemporary, praise, and worship music. And there's nothing wrong with it. I love it. I love it. But my job as a radio announcer is to understand the medium, of how far can I go and still encompass other parts of this musical gospel music and still make it work. That's what I do. See, that's what I do. I don't know about anybody else. Excuse me. That's what Dalton Anderson does for 3 hours. Sometimes, listen, I give up maybe a whole, it depends in the week. I could give up maybe half a day or 3/4 of a day just to prepare for a 3-hour show. Because first thing I got to meditate. Then I go into prayer first, and I ask God, I said, Lord, just anoint me, and because I'm looking at the music, I know what I'm going to play, but I ask, Lord, anoint me, Lord, so that I can be able to, so people can feel what I'm playing. They understand I'm just not throwing on a CD. And I think that just to throw on a CD, I think to me is detrimental to our industry and to the artists that may have slaved out there to have their music played and may have spent their last penny. And just to put it on with no kind of recognition or no understanding of what that ministry that person might have, I think is disingenuous and a disservice to what we're doing. And I'm going to. I could say this now. I'm working on putting together an organization for our gospel announcers so that we can get together and we can start to exchange ideas. And, let's talk about what we're doing, what do we want to do, what we're unable to do, and what we would like to do. And to kind of get some announcers together. And then we're going to talk about the art form of being a radio announcer. I don't know everything. I don't know. I stand on the shoulders of many. I was very fortunate to be on a commercial radio station that, I'm going to say on BLS and LIB. I was very fortunate to be there and to learn a lot. Hello, somebody. Learning. I say, I'm still learning. Still learning. 19 years and I'm still learning the art of being a gospel radio announcer about programming and playing gospel music. I'm still learning. I never think for 1 second that I know it all or that I'm better than anyone else. Now, some people may go on and think that they're better than anybody else, but, you can't be better than God. So this is what I do. I say, Lord, you come in, you anoint, Lord, and you deliver. Forgive me. I just felt something just came in my spirit, and I felt I just had to kind of let you know what's going on. And at the other radio station, people came to my concert last night that have been listening to me on the other radio station, and they are just amazed at my presentation that I'm putting on there, and they just don't know if I'm gonna last, because Dalton, I said, that's a little too powerful for them. I said, no, it's not. It's the movement of God. When God's in it, when God, no man can put us under. You know that song, all your house heads out there. Let no man put us under. You know your gospel house heads out there, you house music people. Let no man put us under. First choice. Hey, listen, I'm being real. But, God is moving in a mighty way. 2015, and, I don't want to talk, I never like to rush anything, because I thank God for today, this minute that I'm here in doing what I do, because I love what I do. I love what I do. But 2015 WHCR family, it's going to be, I feel it already. Oh, hallelujah. I feel it already. There's going to be some amazing things that's going to be happening. And they say, you know what, Dalton, we're going to knock on your shoulder. We're going to pull on you, because we're looking for you in 2015 to do some amazing things. So I say, in Jesus' name, it will be done. Not in Dalton's name, because I'm just a servant in doing what I do here on a Sunday morning. I'm just a servant. Just a servant. And the reason why I spend a lot of time in doing what we do, because we have other radio announcers here. We have Brother Bill. We have Virginia Cotton. Mary Jefferson, Darlene, Darlene Thomas. You have Tina Dixon, Dr. D, Vince, the Prince. Listen, let me tell you, we are like a dying breed. What do you mean, Dalton? Because we are so unique in the music that we present. Because we are non-commercial. We're non-commercial. We pretty much have control over the music that we play. Now, some radio stations, I've been listening to some of them that have control of what they play. I'm sorry. We're the best. We are the best. WHCR, we are the best because we're true. Because I know one thing about Harlem. If you ain't right, they're going to tell you. Because we're in the community. That's one thing about us. A lot of these radio announcers are not in their communities. We are in the community. You can see us. You'll come up to us and tell us you stink. Dalton, we didn't like what you played. You know, one thing about Harlem folk, they're very vocal, and it will tell you to your face, and I like that. You know, don't talk behind my back. Just tell me like it is. But we're so, believe me, and I say that because sometimes when we do our fun drive, I have to forgive me. Forgive me. I know you want to hear music, but when we do our fun drives, I'm going to tell you now, Harlem, and the folks in the Bronx and Manhattan, I'm going to tell it like it is. You don't support us financially. We don't ask for much, but really, you don't really support us in the presentation of what we do on a Sunday. When we do our fun drives and we go out and say, listen, we would like you, as little as $5, $10 or $15. I'm telling you, last year was an embarrassment for gospel music on WHCR, considering the amount of radio personalities that we have in their shows. We didn't get the support. We didn't get it. Sometimes you just have to tell the facts. And everybody, and everywhere I go, in all the concerts, we listen to you, don't? We're listening to the show, or we listen to Virginia Cotton, or we listen to Jefferson, or Brother Bill. We're listening to them. And that is nice, because it's either Sunday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night, Monday morning, whatever. Tuesday morning, you're listening, but you're not supporting us financially. And I'm going to tell you, when you don't support financially and when we don't have it anymore, you're going to say, woe is me. Well, we're going to go down to that station. Well, we're going to talk, it must be Angela Hardin, don't like gospel music. No, it's not. We're part of City College. They're going to look at the balance sheet. We're supposed to be in the black, and we'll be in the red because we don't have the financial support. And we have other shows that have less time than us, less time, come on once a week, and they're raising $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and may only have a 2-hour show. And here we have about 10, maybe 12 hours of gospel programming, maybe more, 15 hours of gospel programming, and we can't even get $2,000. And then we got to sit down and wait for the $2,000 to come because it's so slow coming. So I want you to think about that. How blessed you are to have these announcers, because we don't get paid, but we come up here and we give the kind of time, and because we love you. But we like to have you love us back here on WHCR. Love us back. So next year, when we come with a drive, I don't want to stay all day long begging for money, and then we look, and my boss comes in, so how much you raised so much so far, Angela? Well, Dalton, looks about a little over $300. $300. Just want you to know, because if it comes to a moment, because you know what's going to happen when they're looking to make space, and if they listen, we can get a more profitable show on. You know what the first shows they will cut, right? Gospel music. You got it. All right, let me get out the pulpit. I just wanted you guys to know how much I appreciate everything that you do. But we're going to need your financial help next year in 2015. So a lot of you, when you get your taxes, just, you get a money order. Said, listen, this money is for WHCR. And let's get out of this. Well, I'm supporting this show and that show. We're supporting all shows. We're supporting all shows because it's gospel. We're all here at the station united. We stand together. We stand together. We don't want to lose the show because you was not financially supported. So I just want you to know. And the churches, I'm going to tell you right now, the churches do not support us. We never get a church check. Maybe one or two, maybe one or two, maybe three. But the churches themselves, I would think the church would say, you know what, my congregation listens to WHCR. You know what, financial secretary, let's write out a check to WHCR and tell them thank you because they're sowing into our members when our doors are closed. They're sowing into our members when our doors are closed. The churches don't support us. I'm just being truthful. I'm just saying it. If we got 10 checks, $100 from 10 churches in Harlem, we wouldn't even have to do fundraising. Just 10 checks of $100 from the churches. Say, you know what, financial secretary, let's write a $100 check to WHCR. If we got that, you know where we'll be? Just 10 checks. Wouldn't have, and then we could wait for everybody else. But the churches don't support us. The churches don't support gospel music here on WHCR. See, nobody doesn't want to say, but I'm going to say it. But we're looking for something better in 2015. I just feel that in my spirit. Now, I know that some financial secretaries are listening and saying, I don't know why Dalton's even talking because we don't want to hear it. Well, they could put on rock and roll on a Sunday morning or some easy listening stuff, talk radio. That's what would happen. And what are you going to do then? Play CDs? One of the big stations don't even have gospel music on a Sunday morning. Because why? It's not worth it. Not making any money at it. People not listening. Advertisers won't put on there. So what we'll do now, we'll broker out that time instead and have how to fix your credit and, how to get a new mortgage or medical. Because those companies are paying block money. And they figure, well, hey, we can get this cash money here because gospel music ain't making no money. Nobody's listening. We don't want to be like that. So I'm just telling you that for next year, 2015. I know you all wanted to shout and jump, but sometimes we do bucking and shouting and still we ain't getting no blessing. We still ain't getting no praising because we ain't right about ourselves. So I apologize if I kind of cut into your spirit, but I just got to let you know. I want us to do better in 2015. And really, I'm looking for the churches to write a check. I'm looking at, I'm looking for the churches because, I want our boss, Angela Harden, to come and say, Dalton, we've got, we've gotten 6 or 7 checks from the church supporting gospel music here on WHCR. And that would be awesome in 2015. God bless you, everybody.
Just lift your hands and just release the name of Jesus. Come on, there's power in that name. Come on, there's power in that name. Don't stop saying it. Jesus, Jesus. We know where the power is. Come on, somebody raise up the name of Jesus. Come on, raise up the name of Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Jesus, 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 Jesus. We know who you are, and we bless you for who you are. Yeah. Power is in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus. Listen, to break every chain. Break every chain, break every chain, yeah. To break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. Can you say there is power? There is, come on, all over the room, the name of Jesus. Somebody right where you are, lift your hands and say, there is power in the name of Jesus. Come on, raise it up. Say there is power in the name. Oh, we know where.
Just for me. Just for me. Just for me. start by saying, I'll bless you, Lord. Have a blessing. Hallelujah. For those of you tonight that's going through something and you don't see your way, God is a good God. And He has no respect of person. What He's done for others, He'll do the same thing for you. And I'm thinking to myself right now that some of you may not like this song because it has no beat to it, really. But we're here tonight to encourage your hearts. Not saying that when you leave, all of your problems would be gone. But perhaps God has been a little slow, you think, about answering your prayers. But when you leave tonight, as you get in your car, if you got something you want God to really do, say, just for me. Just for me. Just for me. When you start passing out blessing, Lord, have a blessing for me. When you bless that needed family, please include mine and these. When you start healing over the land and the sea, a touch from your fingertip is all the sick will need. When you start passing out your blessing, Lord, have a blessing. Just for me. Just for me. Just for me. Just for me. Have a blessing. And here's another thing. Just for me. Just for me. Just for me. Just for me. When you start healing, when you start healing the sick, Lord, Lisa, lay your hands on me. Yeah, when you start healing the sick, Lord, when you lay your hands just for me. Lord, just for me. When you start making a way, making a way, making a way for your children, make a way, make a way. Ah, when you start making a way, Lord, make a way. When you start making a way, way, make a 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 way.
Harlem has its own radio station.
For you and yours, WHCR
90.3 FM.
The loudest party in the whole universe.
The voice of Harlem.
Hi, this is Sister Virginia Cotton, and I'll take you to that place every Tuesday morning from 6 to 10 in the a.m. on the Gospel Legends program. We'll lift the Savior and take a trip down memory lane. How far back will I go? Tune in on Tuesday morning, WHCR 90.3 FM from 6 to 10 in the a.m. And don't forget the website. That's the 3Ws.WHCR.org. I'm so excited.
Backed by popular demand, after sold-out performances last season, the world-famous Apollo Theater presents an all-new staging of Ellington at Christmas Nutcracker Suite, featuring Broadway stars Norm Lewis and Priscilla Baskerville, with performances by Liz Wright, Jason Samuel Smith, students from the Dance Theater of Harlem, and more. Musical direction by David Berger. Performances are December 13th and December 14th for 3 performances only. You heard me, 3 performances only. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com or visit www.apollotheater.org for more information.
The Harlem Hospital Center Department of Food and Nutrition Services hosts its annual food drive on Monday, November the 10th through December the 24th. You can donate unexpired, non-perishable food products to any food bank receptacle located throughout Harlem Hospital. All food collected will be donated to Harlem Mothers Save. This is your opportunity to help provide food for families in need during the holiday season. Harlem Hospital is located at 506 Lenox Avenue at 135th Street. For more information, call Sean Shivers at 212-939-1936.
Hi, this is Flo Wiley inviting you to listen to Black Beat New York every Thursday night at 6. Black Beat New York is all about what's happening on the arts and culture scene in New York City, with a special emphasis on what's going on in the sweet village of Harlem. Celebrity interviews, ticket giveaways, Black Beat weekly events calendar, and I'll play for you some of the finest music you'll hear on the radio anywhere. Every Thursday at 6, Black Beat New York, The Flo Wiley Show.
Harlem has its own radio station.
For you and yours, WHCR
90.3 FM.
The loudest party in the whole universe.
The voice of Harlem.
Clap your hands right here. I need everybody clapping. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, Lord, you know every hour. Oh, Lord, bless me now. Whoa.
song. Clap your hands with me. Woo. Come on, choir, get ready. Help me sing. You are God. You are God alone. You are God alone. There's no one greater. No one greater. God alone. You are God. You are God. No one greater. Come on, Pastor Keith, listen. I was down and you picked me up when I was low, filling my cup. You were there when I needed you most. You're God alone. You're Lord of all. Get on your feet and help me sing. You are God alone. Yes, you are. Y'all ain't clapping your hands. You are God. You. There's no one greater. And the last, freed me from sin, erased my past. Nobody like you in the land. Lord, I'm grateful for another chance. One more time. You are God. Oh, yes. Yes, you are God. You are God. No one greater. Nobody greater.
Whcr 90.3 FM in New York. Pastor David Wright in the New York Fellowship Mass Choir. You are God alone. We opened up with the Beulah Grove Baptist Church, I Need Thee, featuring Monica Lisa Stevenson. Don't worry, I will come back with a Koji praise break. You know what? I'll bring it up at 10 o'clock for you, okay? I'll bring it up at 10 o'clock. I just had to kind of get it out my system. It's B. Chase Williams and Shabak. Power on WHCR 90.3 FM, New York. WHCR 90.3 FM. Forgive me, I've been overwhelmed on my Facebook page. And they say sometimes, Dalton, you just have to tell the truth. So people can understand exactly what's going on. We perish because of lack of knowledge. But I'm still fighting on. We're still fighting on. Brother Bill is still fighting on. Virginia Cotton is fighting on. The Marlene Thomas is fighting on. Tina Dixon is fighting on. Mary Jefferson is fighting on. We're all fighting on to bring you nothing but the best and great gospel music. Send it on down, Lord. It's choir song.
Send it on down, Lord. Send it on down, Lord. Send down your power. Send it on down, Lord. Send it on down, Lord. We need your power, Lord. Send it on down, Lord. That Pentecostal power. Hey, send it on down, Lord. We need to feel it, Lord. Send it on down, Lord. Pentecostal power.
Yes! Ain't nobody mad but the devil! Yeah! Yes! Yeah! Anybody? Yeah! Come on! Choir songs! Choir songs! Choir songs! Yeah! Uh-huh. Come on! That's what I'm talking about. Traditional gospel music. Hi, bye. Hi, 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 hi.
Join in with the choir as we give it down to stomp the devil, stomp the devil. All you gotta do
WACR 90.3 FM in New York. Morning Praise with Dalton Anderson. He is still the man who knows how to wake and bake and shake you right out of your gospel beds on a Sunday morning. Garnell Spearman. Send it on down. Send it on down. That's what I'm talking about. Real choir songs. You know what I mean? When you go to church, you want to hear some choir singing like this. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Good things are prepared for me. Bishop Wilson and choir.
Prepared for them that love him. Do you love him today? Well, come on and praise him.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Great choir songs. Yeah. What he has prepared for me.
Harlem has its own radio station.
WHCR
90.3 FM. The voice of Harlem.
Just touch somebody and tell them, say, I'm on my way to heaven.
It's time. It's time for the Koji Praise Break.
Anybody glad you're on your way? Anybody made reservations? If he call you any minute you're ready, just look at somebody and say, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Yeah. Gotta leave that alone, because I feel something. I feel something. I feel something. I feel. Just look at somebody and say, I don't know where you're going, but I'm on my way to heaven.
That's right.
Packing up my bags. I'm getting ready. Hey,
oh, yes. Come on.
it's church time. It's church time. That's where we come for. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. When you think of his goodness and everything he's already done, something ought to happen.
Yeah, come on.
Put your hands together and give God some praise in this place. I'm on my way to heaven. Tell somebody, oh, it's mine. It's mine. I worked too hard. Oh, heaven is mine. Honey, I had to go through so much. Oh, heaven is mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. Hallelujah. Gonna move on. I say, yes, God. Yes, God. I tell you to start thinking about what God has done. That'll make you start thinking about heaven. Yes, sir.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Let's
Come on.
go.
You're in the midst of the Koji Praise Break. Hey! Come on! Oh yeah! Hallelujah! 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 Ho! 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 Hallelujah! It's the Cozy Praise Break. Get your praise on. Hallelujah! 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 Are you dancing? Are you dancing? Are you dancing? Are you dancing? Are you dancing?
Y'all still waiting?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
If y'all serious, do this with me. Come on.
Yes, come on.
Oh!
Hallelujah. Hey. Hallelujah. Hey. Hallelujah. Hey. Oh, 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 oh. Uh-huh. I know somebody's shouting in their home right now. Shouting for deliverance. Shouting for a breakthrough. Some of you shouting right now, you got blessed. Hallelujah. Yeah, come on. Come on, come on.
If y'all serious, do this with me. Come on. Set. Oh! Here we go.
Pick him up! Put him down! 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 The Koji Praise Break. Yeah. Jennifer Hudson.